What made you want to get into being a beekeeper?
My grandpa did it and my dad did it, and I never had any interest in beekeeping at all whatsoever until one day my dad was not around and a swarm of bees flew out of a hive, and he said, go catch them or let them go. And I'm really cheap, so I wasn't going to let $100 hang on a branch. It's kind of like fishing. You watch someone stand on the bank and throw a line in the water, you're like, wow, that's the most boring thing ever, and then you catch a fish. It's really fun. That's what beekeeping was about. The first swarm I caught that actually stayed in the hive and that I got to watch turn into money really got me interested into bees.
How many beehives do you have?
Right now we have 5. We'll run anywhere from 5 to 65 depending on the year. We got hit pretty hard by the colony collapse disorder and a lot of other things going on. It's pretty hard to be a beekeeper in Ohio right now because of all of the things that are working against you. But no matter how many hives we have, it's a pretty profitable venture for us as long as we don't have to build brand new apiaries.
Do you sell the honey you get from the bees, and if so, how much does one jar make?
Okay, so I do sell as much as I can. Part of the rule is, we call it the Papa rule at my house. My dad has to have 12 quarts. He'll go through 12 of these a year. So once we make 12 quarts out of however many bees we have, then we can start selling them. That's a quart, and that's a pint. All right, pint is exactly half of a quart. So the deal I usually make is somewhere between $12 and $20 for a quart, and between $7 and $9 for the pint. All right, I always make this about $1 more than this one if I put 2 together, so that it's better just to buy the big one. It's an economical marketing thing.
What type of bees do you have?
Well, they're about that big, and they're yellow and brown and striped. They're European bees, and they're the ones that we get are local. Obviously, we catch a lot of swarms. People call us up and say, hey, I've got bees in my house, can you come get them? We go get them. Or we go to a local apiist, that's the name for someone that keeps bees, and we buy a nuke. All of them come from a European strain. Depending on where you get them, they're either from Norway or Germany or Australia. This depends on where they're from. Boils down to they're a bee. And what's become pretty common to see on flowers around here wasn't here at all until the first colonists came across to America from not America and brought their bees with them.
Any more information you want to tell us about it?
Beekeepers are everywhere. They're probably in your neighborhood, believe it or not. There's really, depending on where you live, there's not a lot of laws that prevent you from having bees as long as you have a yard. So if you're interested in it as a hobby or just to watch how it happens, go talk to someone. You can get online and look up the Ohio Beekeeping Association. There's probably someone within 10 or 15 minute drive of you, and they would love to show you the process firsthand. They'll probably even lend you a suit so that you don't get stung. But be careful, if you get into it, it tends to be something that once you've done it once and had some success, you kind of stay in, and it becomes more of a hobby than a money-making venture, but both things are true. Then the locals around me started buying it so fast that I couldn't bring it in anymore.
So it's an underground honey smuggling operation?
It's not a smuggling, I'm pretty open.
Do you have a brand name for your honey?
Nope, just honey. Damewood's honey, I guess.